Hey peeps! This is Marci Locke. We're locking down the truth and
Ian Myers.
So this beautiful, gorgeous real life Thor. Just let me just show you for a minute. So, Anne, what are you wearing? What's the bracelet?
Oh, we have a special bracelet here.
Oh, I got one too.
I think you.
Really wise, amazing soul.
Absolutely. Special gifts.
This is one of my favorite beings. I'm trying to hold the camera because I'm going to actually show you guys the awesomeness that's going on in here. I don't know if you can kind of see this little bits of stuff. So Ian has been known as like the plant-based muscle man. Obviously I call him real life Thor. He's been in magazines, he's been in interviews. He has a 7-day reset program on helping people like reset their whole system and beating like all the raw vegetables, all the or meals, etc., which I'm sure you can share. Yeah. Anyways, Ian was like, Mars, I want to come make you lunch. And I was like, oh my God, let's share your awesomeness and so you guys can have some of this fun stuff. So Ian, what do we got going on?
So we have making a basil pesto sauce. One of the meals that is on the lunch and the dinner is a basil pesto sauce with zucchini noodles and also kelp noodles.
I'm just gonna keep doing this.
So,
he already like made this guacamole, and we had some cucumbers, and I was just like, oh, it was so good.
Yeah, and I can feel my stomach. I'm so hungry.
Yeah, I'm hungry
so
too.
hungry.
Let's hurry, huh? Okay, so we got that.
So what I'm doing here is just preparing a few items so we can create this beautiful dish, and it's literally something that you can do in 15 minutes or less.
Yeah, he like whipped out all this stuff, and he's like, oh yeah, no, this is snap, put this together. And what were you telling me about the kelp noodles?
Yeah, so this is actually, I'll grab the bag here and share.
I did wash the kelp noodles, and I put them on the cutting board for him, and I got out the bowl.
Such a huge help here. And
half the things in my kitchen, I'm like, I don't know, but my house manager, Jackie, and she came and found it. Huh?
Beautiful.
I told you.
Yes. And you know, something that's a really nice addition to this. You don't have to have these kelp noodles, but what we're using today is kelp noodles. They really are flavorless, but full of. They're flavorless, and there's really not any calories in them. They're just a really good source of minerals.
You were the first one, I think, that took me to a restaurant where we had this, and we went to Peace Pies, all these raw foods and all this good stuff. I was like, and I'm already like, I've been like the nutrition fitness queen for years, and yet then my journey really became the internal game, and so I love like learning all these deeper, cute little tricks and secrets of pure awesomeness.
Yeah, thank you.
So it's like, it's like eating noodles again. I haven't eaten noodles for years.
And kelp noodles are so different than all of the other, like the wheat pastas. And kelp noodles are very light. They're very low in calories, and they're full of minerals. So you could, whatever you blend them with, whether it be a basil pesto sauce or another yummy sauce, they will totally blend and go with whatever you use them with.
So good.
So we have a little we have a healthy amount of kelp noodles here.
Because we like to eat.
A lot. We like to eat with abundance.
I told him when he first started hanging out with me, what did I say? Do you remember? Oh my God, I'm going to test your memory.
Yes. Give me.
I said, there's 2 things you have to know if you're going to hang out with me. Keep me
fed.
Warm and fed!
Yes.
Keep me warm and fed. I am a happy girl, remember? But I was like, and even if I'm not warm and fed, I'm a happy girl because I choose happy.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's much easier for me to be in ultimate happiness when you keep me warm and fed. So he's always done really good at that.
And so this is going to be a meal that you can eat in abundance. So you can eat until you're full. Very low on calories and very satisfying. So this is a basil pesto.
Yeah, I gotta say, every meal I've ever had with you has been so fucking delicious. And it's healthy, and it's just like, to me, it reminds me of what I used to eat back in the day, like again, like noodles and things like that. Yet it was a whole version of healthy and awesome. And everything you do is really simple and easy and fast. So his 7-day reset, while I'm talking about this, it's full. His 7-day reset program is full. You have another one coming up
June the 12th.
So this is like you getting 7 days of all the recipes, all the support from everything from detoxifying, the whole thing, to be able to go through 7 days of resetting your system to just like magnify your rockin' body of health.
Absolutely.
So that might be something you want to tune into for his next one that's coming up, because it's epic having this kind of yummy stuff and how easy
simple,
it is.
delicious recipes delivered in very short amounts of time, and also having group support. it's going to be a lot of fun.
I know. I was like, I'm going to pay for my house manager to get in there just to get all your recipes and just to do it because I love all Ian's good stuff. Okay.
All right.
Show, babes.
So here's what we're going to do just to just give you a quick sneak peek of one of the meals or one of the recipes. So we've got, we'll just start right here. This is going to be a...
You're spiralizing it. I had a spiralizer. It's like, do you have a spiralizer? And I looked in every drawer. Except, and I was like, I know Jackie's going to come down there and she's going to write to it, and she did. I have secret drawers. There's secret drawers in the kitchen.
And here we are. So we actually found the spiralizer.
Yep.
We've got the zucchinis already peeled. They're ready to go. Mm-hmm. And this spiralizer is super easy to use. It has little stickies.
Let's see how long my arm's going to handle
this.
Let's
see. All you got to do is crank the wheel, and you literally...
And wait, what's coming out on the other side?
Check this out. I'm going to put a bowl in right here so we catch it. But check that out. Simple.
Yum.
And here's the deal.
And it's zucchini.
It's zucchini. So here's the deal. When we leave behind the old way of eating these, the wheat noodles and the rice noodles and things like that with gluten, we go to these
the things that fuck you over to the things that literally make your body effortless.
I mean, these things are full of...
This is why 8-pack abs really is easy. Most people just don't know how to get down the nutrition, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
To operate in it.
So when you start eating more, when you eat noodles like this that are full of vitamins and enzymes and minerals, full of all this nutrition, and zucchinis are a high water vegetable. So not only are we getting vitamins and nutrition, but we're also getting... we're also assisting our body in cleansing. So it's a beautiful step up and getting rid of the gluten.
That's why the raw foods and the coming from these places, that's why that stuff, it's literally like aligning your body to more effortless production and everything, because again, you're cleansing your body, you're getting all these things, you're not adding chemicals and processed shit into your body.
Exactly.
I'm going to see if I can add this right here because my arm is... We'll see how long it's like. So hang on, guys. You might get the ceiling for just a second, but this is how it's going to roll. There, then we can try to...
All right.
Yay! Oh my God. Well, wait, where's your head? We'll find something to put this on.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Here we go. So we've almost got the first bowl completed.
Oh my God. Okay, my arm. Now I can just be the cheerleader. Go Ian! Go Ian!
All right. We got the first bowl completed, and what we'll do is we'll mix everything together. We'll just put it in a big bowl.
Wait, let me help.
Okay, you can do that. We'll add in a handful of kelp noodles.
Bing.
All right.
Awesome.
And what we do need to create is the basil pesto, which is already kind of teed up over here.
Okay.
So you guys, we have the NutriBullet is what I'm using.
You gotta watch your head.
The NutriBullet is what I have over here.
Bigger thing because you're so tall.
And I've got about 1.5 cups of cashews in here. And to make this basil pesto sauce, it's really simple. We're just going to add in a handful of basil.
Look, I'm getting creative. I'm using a pan.
We're going to get this.
Well, you're so tall.
I know.
I love how I always get to like when I'm around you, I'm like, see, hi, I brought a chair. I'm like, okay, I'm good. Right?
Perfect. Now you guys can see we've got a handful of basil, we've got 2 cloves of garlic, and we're going to add in a little bit of some nutritional yeast in there.
Love nutritional yeast.
And then we're going to do a little bit of sea salt, and this is probably about...
There's so many benefits to sea salt. You can probably go off on that.
Maybe a 1/4 teaspoon of sea salt. Yeah, and that's pink Himalayan sea salt, which is incredible. We're going to do a little bit of lemon. So I'm just going to squeeze a little bit of lemon in there.
Wait, what are you going to do?
Just squeeze a little bit of lemon. Oh, can you tell?
I told him he might have to actually take off his shirt.
Oh my gosh.
For making lunch. I just think it's more effective. And you're okay with that, right?
Lunch without a shirt on.
I'm okay with it too. I'm okay with taking off my clothes. I like to take my clothes off.
Oh my gosh. Mm-hmm. What have I gotten myself into?
Yeah, me, you know this.
All right, so the next thing that we need to do here is actually just add just a little bit of water to this and blend it up. How about some...
That's filtered. Well,
this is filtered?
I have a whole house system of filtered water, but that is actually extra filtered.
Awesome.
You tell me how much and I'll do it.
I'm going to turn the camera over here so that they can
see how much it is.
Where we're going.
Can you? Well, you might just.
Well, we're going to go. Right
oh, snap! You guys are going to get lots of fun with this. Okay, you wanted to see where you're doing with that?
Yeah, we'll just.
Okay, cool.
Right.
And how much water?
Let's see. We'll just go for like a couple of tablespoons.
Okay, you tell me. Good?
That's probably good.
Yeah.
We'll start there.
A couple tablespoons. Okay.
And then we're gonna blend away. We'll go ahead and pop the top on here, so it'll be loud for just a second, but we'll get through it. All right, so we will have to add a little bit more water. So
I didn't get quite enough water in there.
That's all right.
That's why you just get to play with this stuff. That's how I cook when I do cook. You know, because I have people cook for me now.
Yeah.
It's like I have 2 cookbooks, but I cook for like selected people when I want to cook.
Nothing wrong with that.
I know.
It's intentional cooking, right?
You can come cook for me.
I'd love to.
I will cook. Yes.
This is when I'm in my zone. All right, so let's see what we got here. You might have to sample this and see where we're at.
You want to say hi? Gavin was saying
incredible.
hi to a friend who's
Come on
all
in.
visiting a live video. Yeah, Ian's showing us how to make lunch. Epic, huh? Cool.
All right. Sample?
Okay. Oh wow, so good. And you could just like eat a ton of that.
I could eat a ton of that. Yeah.
This is why I love like some of my basic main recipes that my nanny always makes, my house manager from my cookbooks, my protein hummus, because it's like all it is pure garbanzo beans and seasoning. It's like versus you buy the hummus at the store and it's got a whole bunch of shit in it, right?
Yeah.
And high fats and stuff like that. My cauliflower bread. Because it's like this stuff you can eat as
bread.
much as you want,
Yeah.
right? It's like we make cauliflower pizza with my kids, and it's literally cauliflower bread.
Simple.
Then we do, you know, just the healthy ingredients on top of it, and sometimes for them, we'll even get like the vegan cheese replacement stuff, right? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, there's a couple of different options out there for that.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, this is like eating healthy can be so fucking delicious and so easy and work for you. But this kind of stuff, it's like, because you've got the kelp noodles, you've got zucchini, so you're having pasta that you can eat as much as you want.
And you can enjoy it, yeah. You can eat with abundance. Like there's no restriction.
It's just so easy.
It's so easy. It's so easy.
It's so easy.
There's no restriction, and there's no deprivation. Like, you know, it's. What's that?
Did you get fat?
No.
I said, I just want to get naked now. I'm just like, it's just so easy.
We're gonna have a little plant party here.
My pants are extra, you know, they've got this going on. It's extra fun.
Looking good, looking good. So, all right, yeah, this is one dish is created, and what we'll do is we'll add on some other delicious little things on top, which will be something like sun-dried tomatoes we've got over there.
Ooh, that's right. Yeah.
We've got some sun-dried tomatoes. We can chop up a little bit of some zucchini or some what is that? Cucumbers, and we'll put those on top. We'll just make it look really pretty. Maybe some extra basil over the top.
Here's a little tip: cucumbers is years ago when I replaced going from like my first cookbook, my first level of understanding was really like, you know, taking the masses of how to eat to be a fat burning machine and how to shift these different things. So it went from like chips to you could make, you know, healthy lean tortilla chips and stuff. The shift for me that took me to like 6-8 pack lean for life with ease is literally going from those things to more plant-based things, right?
Yes.
So this is perfect for chips. One of my favorite, you know, bases in my house that my nanny always makes is my lime bean salsa. And it's just black beans, garbanzo beans, cut up as many vegetables as you want, you know, any type of peppers or whatever you want. And then you do a squirt of lemon juice on it.
Yeah.
And some seasoning. I add a little salsa in that. And so it's a space of just literally, you could throw that on a salad. But my favorite thing to do with that was I used to even add, you know, obviously you got the beans as your protein. You got vegetables, which are carbs. Then I'd use these as chips. That would become party. I mean, that's why like you gave me this with the guacamole, like so good. So there's so many options for you, you know, to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and you don't feel like you're missing anything. That's the beautiful part about it. Is like, you know, it's not like you're missing anything. It's you're just creating something new that still is very satisfying and filling. So
yeah,
it's great.
And so as far as in your 7-day reset, do you have stuff like on what's the importance of like detoxifying the system? You get that a lot, don't you? You get a lot of people like, let's detoxify the system, and why? Because they're struggling with all obviously diseases and sicknesses from the chemicals and everything else.
Well, this 7-day reset is based around plant-based eating and actually eating living foods rather than doing a juice cleanse or a smoothie cleanse. This incorporates some smoothie in there, but it is more based around eating plant-based living foods, these higher vibrational foods that have high water content in there, and the fruits and the vegetables, so it assists the body in cleansing and detoxifying and healing.
Yeah.
And
which then can be how you learn to operate and live that way. Like just like I'm like, this is how we operate now. This is how we live. Yet when you first start, you're like, I don't know how to do anything other than what I know. So Ian and I were talking about actually, which we'll want to kind of share, is like even how the shifts of experiences we had. And I was telling him that we know we're either operating out of memory or inspiration. So memory is, 95% of what you are doing by 35 years old is memory. 95%, right? Yeah. And hence, the only thing you see as possible is based on what you know or what you've experienced. And so we're always projecting into the future based on our past. We're not even living in the present moment. We're not even actually operating consciously. And so we're operating out of memory instead of inspiration, which we were talking about, like all these new, how this came up, the 7-day reset for you.
This is creative.
Just divine, like you're like, ooh, I want to go create this, or I get to go, you were going to create the money in abundance for a seminar.
For an event, actually called Abundance. The seminar, the event that I went to was called Abundance. And I had to figure out a way, not even figure it out, it was already there, but I just had to lean into that and took it on. And so I started to just operate in it, opened up a new channel, and that's how the 7-day reset was created. Was literally just with the thought and an idea that I knew would help people transform and find a way of getting into more alignment around the foods. So this 7-day reset does a couple of different things. It assists people with incorporating more a plant-based lifestyle, which helps to raise our vibration. Also helps to kind of start the cleansing process, which is a much more gentler approach than a juice cleanse. This is a more a slower approach that will really help the body do some surface cleaning and line you up for a juice cleanse down the road. But more importantly is that this is designed to really help people find support and also develop healthy habits.
And look at this. Like, again, when I'm with Ian, I eat the best food. Even stuff that I forget is, I'm like, can you just come do like a day with my nanny and cooking and like all the recipes? It's so good. And yet, so again, this part of the living in the if you don't have the belief systems to align to this, you do the behaviors and you just end up fucking yourself. You end up sabotaging. So it's like you got to shift the belief systems behind it, like literally seeing and believing that eating healthy is delicious and how good it feels and how, like, again, we love to eat and we love to eat really well and everything we eat is yummy and delicious, and yet it's magnifying our body and our experience when you understand these belief systems and you go, and obviously there's connecting the dots to why you would seek foods outside yourself. So say for instance, even you notice you're going to the pantry and you want to sabotage. That's because you're actually seeking a feeling outside of you. You get to go internal and go, oh, what am I feeling? Oh, I notice I'm feeling like not good enough and I'm wanting to feel loved. That's why I'm actually going to the pantry and I'm looking to seek a feeling outside of myself that is never going to give myself this feeling. It's actually how do we give ourselves this feeling? So the first step can be, and this was the first step of my process in one of my coaching, in one of my programs, What's Your Relationship to Food, actually takes you through not only learning how to now shift the game of eating healthy food, but then how to actually see what are the associations, the patterns, the sabotage, so that now when you see those dots and connections, you're like, oh, I'm wanting to go to that food. Oh, that's right. What's really going on? That's a red flag for me now to say, oh, what I'm really wanting is I'm wanting to feel deserving from the day I did good, or I'm wanting reward, or I'm feeling sad, or whatever it is. And then you go, oh, okay, well, the first step can be replace it. That's the first step. So learning these behaviors or these the food opportunities and the things that you can do, it's like, oh, cool, I I can actually have pasta. I can actually have cauliflower pizza with my kids. I have like only eat the most awesome things. Now, that is just replacing the behavior though. That's just kind of like you go, you know, oh, now I'm gonna go work out at the gym because I really want a healthy body. But then when you get triggered and you go to sabotage and your belief system is that you're gonna get attacked if you look good, or you're gonna, you know, whatever. If you don't catch that, and that's why we want you to also go internal. We definitely both believe in like the mindset and the cellular memory and the whole alignment internally.
Yes, the
to then, yes, to be going, oh, I'm seeking this, what's that about? Why is that? And you get to learn to shift past it, that you don't ever even need a treat replacement. Yet what we're telling you is you can live in this beautiful flow and ease. It's not like, oh, we have to sacrifice, oh, to look like real life Thor, to look like, I'm like, I'll flex with you, to look like real life Thor, etc. I've got to eat this way. That's such bullshit. It's like we actually have, it only gets easier. Just like the more we go internal with the mindset, it only gets easier. We were talking about this outside. We were literally like, it took us probably 2 hours to get around to like starting to make lunch.
Yeah.
And we're both
just the
starving.
conversation.
We're both starving too, just because we like, I'm showing Ian the new, you know, magical manifestation mansion, and we're outside by the meditation place, and we're just getting into such beautiful, deep conversations about authenticity and the experiences that we've been through and what he's been going through recently. And it's just like, the more we actually, you know, release and let go and surrender and just fucking be, the more easier it is, the more joy we receive, the more pleasure. We were talking about these levels of him going through these processes recently to then be worthy of sharing all your vulnerability, all your authenticity, all feelings. And how I'm like, babes, that's why all this money's coming in and all this other stuff, because at this internal level, there's this whole like, I'm worthy to just feel all things, I'm worthy to be me, I'm worthy to be seen, which means I'm worthy to actually receive. But before, when it's like, no, I can't even share myself fully, or I'm afraid of this, or I'm afraid of that, etc., then you're actually saying, I can't receive. And you're blocking receiving more money, more clients, more ease. And the more we go internal, the more we just receive even more awesomeness.
Yeah,
right?
just let go.
It's such a beautiful
and
game of flow.
Stepping into a whole new way of being.
Yeah.
So, yeah, thanks for sharing that and sharing the space with me. This is great. Yes.
We're just gonna love. We're just gonna love, and we're gonna eat.
We're gonna love and eat.
Do you want to share anything right now, or do you want to put it together and then share on like what you recently have been through with like sharing your like the program you just went through, or what you're, you know, kind of expressing in authenticity? This is so beautiful for me to see. Like Ian's energy is really different right now. Do you want to tell him why?
Yeah, I'll share a little bit. So I recently went through a leadership and also a transformational event that took place over a four-day event, which was like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And during this event, literally got to tap into a lot of deep things, emotional blockages that have been with me for 37 years, and was able to actually bring those up, to release them, and also bring myself back into alignment with integrity with myself, and just be able to live a more...
This is amazing, Anna. Anna, just wave and say hi as Ian's sharing his depth of vulnerability and authenticity. The amazing Anna.
Oh, yay.
Yes.
Perfect timing.
Wow.
Bring in the love, Bella.
Bring in the love, yes.
See, only more love to receive. For my
Bali
house,
wants some love too.
magical manifest. Yeah, Bali love is just like love on me all the time.
Hey, peeps, what's going on? Yeah.
So it's been quite the journey. So these last couple of days have just opened me wide open, and getting to cry in front of 90 people and just open up and share things that I've never shared before was very transformational for me. And you know, the transformation is still continuing every day. I wake up and I have another opportunity just to peel another layer back, and just keep going deeper and deeper, and sharing what's actually in my heart and not in my head. And that's part of what I've gathered or learned over those 4 days. It's getting into the heart and out of the mind, out of the head.
The code of truth.
Just being able to connect back with that. And I felt like 37 years, my heart has been guarded. I've had this armor, this facade that's been up. So now I am now feeling whole and feeling home. You know, feeling complete and actually worthy to receive and to also give. You know, to open my heart up to receive and to also to be love and to give love. So
beautiful.
So here we are, connecting again after, I don't know, what, 2 months?
The last time I saw you was my birthday blessing celebration. So, I mean, in my, hey, love you, baby. I told Ian, so this is beautiful, and this is why, I mean, everything that we're about is, you know, sharing the truth, real vulnerability, the depths. Everybody knows that, you know, I don't hold back. I call it all bullshit, and I'm completely expressive and unapologetically me. So you either love me or hate me, usually, because I'm either triggering the fuck out of you, or you're like, oh, I want to be that free as well. And I told Ian, so we had talked about, we'd made plans even before you went to your thing to come hang out, to do lunch and to drop in, and just haven't seen each other for a while. And look at the gifts of how the universe always is fully supporting you. The fact that, like, you know, we had set this on the schedule, and then so I was like, cool, you're gonna make me lunch, let's rock out alive and be able to show everyone the awesome food that you make, because I know I love it and I want all my peeps to fully be supportive. And so a couple days ago, I messaged him and I said, babes, will you send me some of your sexy pictures so I can just pop up that we're gonna be able to do this, so more people can take advantage of learning from, you know, what you're gonna make and share. Yeah. And you called me.
Yep, I called and I said something I've never said before to anybody, was that, can I share some vulnerability with you right now? Can I be vulnerable with you? And I've never said that ever before. And to say that was like so liberating and freeing for you, and to have you say absolutely and just hold space and just for me to share and just say what was going on is like it's such a beautiful way. It's the way that we're supposed to be, to be able to share authentically and be vulnerable, and so that was a new experience for me. So thank you.
Well, and you basically had, and I just want to honor Ian, and this is why I want to share this, because I told him this is such a beautiful gift for you to actually express and share this with people. I mean, here, yes, great, guys, you thought we were talking about food, which we were. It's a bonus to living in awesomeness and living in awesomeness, right? Yet, this is the real truth of living in awesomeness, is actually living internally in awesomeness. And so Ian had messaged, he called me and he's like, I just want to tell you what I've just been through, and how I recognized that I was so guarded and I was so masked, and you know, I've been blocking my emotions and blocking my feeling body, and being able to go through this process that he went through where he really got to express and cry, and he's like, I feel like I'm so free now, and I'm like, and the reason it brought up for him is because you basically lost your voice. Like today, you can hear a little bit of raspiness, which is still fucking sexy, right? But it's like, he was like, I'm not sure that I'm going to have a voice. I'm like, sweetie, how beautiful is it that we set up, that we got to connect after your event, and that I could receive you in this place where, like, I live in this place and teach people this place of, like, completely non-judgment, feeling the feeling body. And this is something that we got to talk about, which is so important for you guys to see and understand, is that when we talk about the mental memory, which you've been doing for a long time, which is we're trying to do what the surface self-empowerment tells you. It's like, let's figure it out. If I do this, then da-da-da-da-da, and I've got to, if I do that, then I can get that to working in the business. And and so you're running around doing these, what we think is self-empowerment. We're trying to figure it out with our head. But I was like, babes, your cellular memory is 500,000 times stronger.
Wow.
500,000 times stronger than your mental memory. So what you were vibrating here by blocking feelings and holding all this internal emotion and it being in your system, say, I'm not worthy, or it's scary to be loved, or I have to protect or guard myself, or I can't show my feelings, that is what you were vibrating so much more fucking bigger than what you're like saying an affirmation about and mentally trying to project, which is why it keeps people in this hamster wheel. So the mindset is the first tiny little aspect. The mindset is just meant to be connecting the dots, so that it connects the dots for the feeling and the cellular memory. So what you got to actually do is you release that, as you released all this cellular memory. We actually just went off today on all these other downloads we've had of other ways that he gets to tune into the cellular memory and releasing that stuff as well. Yet when you actually tune into what you're feeling, just like I explained really quickly with the foods, it's like, oh, when I'm wanting chocolate, red flag. Okay, because is that going to give me the result that I want? Is that going to allow me to, is that going to serve me? If it's not, and this is my commitment of living in impeccable integrity with myself, from the words that I speak to the thoughts that I have to the feelings that I exude, is I'm like, if it doesn't serve me, it doesn't go on my skin, it doesn't go in my body, and it doesn't belong in my space. So the only people, that's why this manifestation mansion only attracts the most epic, amazing beings of love and light, and that are here to magnify, not be like, hey, I like this, but I'll also be a negative energy underneath, or there's like a validation, because that's your state of being that you're exuding. And if my state of being isn't like, I live in liberation now, I live in awesomeness now, I align to the people who live in impeccable integrity and core values and authenticity and all this, then if I said, well, I'll put up with that, that's kind of like what you're doing when, well, I'll kind of this with my body, or I'll put up with this kind of thing in my life. You're choosing that as your state of being. So as you've aligned now to being like, I show up fully as me, I show up fully expressed, I show up fully open, fully vulnerable, and it's so fucking hot, right? I'm like, this is the bravest, most courageous thing that you can be. And I hope that men hear this, because I was telling Ian, and why I just want to honor you for even sharing and being in that space, because this is part of the feminine rising right now, is that for the feminine rising that's happening, bringing the feminine flow. So it's just like all my guys that went down to the jungle with me, all these badass, amazing men that I coach, and I was telling him how I'm even like looking at doing a men's only program of taking them from the warrior to, the emperor, and taking them from fight to flow, is because by you guys tuning in and opening up your feminine, you learn to receive. And actually, Ian's true essence is feminine. And so if he's been operating out of his masculine for all this time, the do, and I should, this, because the masculine is the thing that just, I got to get to the end result. I have to do this. I want to get to the end.
Yeah, very true.
The feminine just wants to be seen for their love and light. The feminine just wants to share love and light, and it's this flow like water. It's this dance, and it's a play, and it's creation.
Beautiful.
So you can see how if you're always in the do, but you're blocked from fucking receiving, that's why you're not receiving the money. That's why you're not receiving the love, the relationships, all these things, because you're blocked in receiving. So he opens up receiving by just simply allowing, and being fully himself, and then 7-day reset happens, and all these things that were already within him that are there as gifts to share are available. It's like, oh, and you did it out of like, ooh, what would feel good? How could I serve? Notice that's the aligned masculine. Masculine is inspired action. That's the doing energy. But when we're doing it out of alignment, we're like, I gotta fucking do this so that I can have this, and that it should be this way, and it's hard, and it's try, and it's struggle, and it's force, and it's fight.
Doesn't sound fun.
No, not at all. Yet the masculine in the alignment is the inspired action, and through the feminine, it's like, ooh, this feels good. Ooh, what would that look like? How could I create that? And it's the beautiful dance of the masculine and the feminine taking inspired action and then to receive it with ease. And so even just like, it's like how the universe fully supports you. This was set up that I was like, babes, I'm so excited. I get to receive you in this space. I get to receive you. And this is what I wanted to honor him for, is that's why I say his energy. I told him my past experience with Ian was, I was like, I adored you, and I never got to know you. And which is like me, I am so fucking real and deep and authentic with everyone. Everything is deep. Every conversation is deep. It's just everything is real. And with Ian, it was very blocked and surface, because there was a lot of like guarding himself. And so I was like, oh, I always knew I didn't get to know the real Ian. I was just like a friend, became friends, because it was like, I didn't really get to know the real Ian. And I'm like, his energy is so different. And so all I got to say is like, if that doesn't, bring up for you, like, the more I'm open and the more I express my feelings and feel all things, not only then it tells me what's really going on with food, to with money, to with relationships, to everything, to then move through to a conscious creation and conscious action versus subconsciously reacting. That's when you get the beautiful epic relationships, the money and all things, is when you tune into the feminine.
Absolutely.
Yes.
That's very well said. Very well said, and I feel every bit of that.
Thank you.
There's been some massive shifts that have happened when I finally just stepped back and just started just being that. And as I am doing that, I'm noticing that everything around me is changing. The world hasn't changed, but my perception and the way that I'm being has, because now I'm just being in who I truly am, and I'm not putting up a fake, a facade.
So freeing, right?
It is very freeing.
As we said, when you're just so aligned to being you, there's nothing to hide, there's nothing to do, there's no shoulds or have tos or anything. You just simply get to be present and enjoy each moment, and it's so effortless. Yes. Right?
Yes.
Good stuff.
Very good stuff.
So I just want to honor him. He's so amazing. I'm so grateful and blessed that, he wants to come make me lunch and come tune in and then share all this awesomeness with you guys too. So anything else you want to share with them about all this good stuff before we say, hey, we're going to go eat?
Yeah, I think I'm super hungry.
I know.
So I think we'll, I think we've gone over everything.
We've locked it down. So how can they find out about your next 7-day reset coming up? And
good question. The 7-day reset you can find at ianmyerswellness.com, and then you click on the 7-day reset, and there's a link there with all the information and the sign up at the bottom. Yeah. So that'll be
June is his
June
next
12th.
one that even has availability. So if you guys want to jump in on his 7-day reset with all these amazing recipes and going through the support and
recipes,
all that stuff.
grocery list, online support, and Yeah, so recipes
Goodies.
and also 7-day menu. So
Goodies.
you get all the goodies.
Awesome.
Yes.
Cool. We're gonna eat. We love you guys.
Love you guys.
Crocs Race George. Choose your best life.
Awesome.
Knock it down.
Bye, guys.